Hi guys, it's Lisa. Since I didn't have too much finished objects this week, I decided to do the knit and crochet tag that was started by, let's see, was it catcrazycreations? I know a few people that I've been watching have done the tag and it looked like fun. So I thought I'd give it a shot. Okay, so there's 10 questions and let's just get started. The first question is, how long have you been knitting or crocheting? Well, I do both. Crocheting, I started when I was a kid, and let's see, probably 9 or 10, but I didn't really continue with it. I just did it for a little while and then stopped. Knitting I started about 15 or 16 years ago, and I love it, and I've been doing it ever since. I do both, and I've picked up crocheting again probably about a year ago, maybe not quite a year ago, just because I thought it would be fun again. The second question is, where do you knit or crochet? And I basically will say I do it everywhere. Wherever I can get a chance, I always carry something with me, some kind of project. Usually, if a small one I'm working on, portable, I always have knitting or crocheting with me, because you never know. You never know when you're stuck somewhere. You never know when you have to be waiting, when we're driving in the car. So it comes with me wherever I go. So that's the second question. The third question is, when do you knit or crochet? And I knit or crochet whenever I get a chance. Mostly right now that I'm working. I do it after work in the afternoons, in the evenings, on my days off. So whenever I get a chance, there's no like set time of day. I like to do it every time. If I could do it 24 hours, I probably would. Number 4 is, what is your favorite needle or hook? Okay, so the hook question is an easier answer. And I'm not sure what's going to happen with the light here. I hope this doesn't, I may have to like redo this, because I'm not sure the light's going to be cooperative, because now I'm outside and the sun has decided to come out behind the clouds. So the lighting has definitely changed and I can see some shadows on my face, so we'll see. Okay. Back to the hooks and needle size. So this is my favorite. My favorite hook size is an H. That's sort of my go-to size for most every project when I'm working on those medium weight projects. And this right now is my favorite needle or hook of the day. It's a Susan Bates, and it's got this really nice bamboo handle. It's real smooth and it's real comfortable in my hand, and I really like how the Susan Bates, the head of the hook part, it's just the right depth to catch the yarn. So that's my favorite crochet hook and brand. And I haven't tried a lot of others. I've just mostly tried the Susan Bates and the Boyd. I don't like the Boyd there too. I don't like the hooks on the Boyd. I'd like to try some others with the different handles, because I've seen some that look really nice. But anyway, that's what I have so far. Now, the issue with the knitting needles is a whole different ball of wax. I have been trying, and I'm sure people who actually have watched my videos, you know that I've mentioned this probably too many times, and you're probably getting bored of hearing about it, but I'm really looking for an interchangeable set and have yet to just figure out which one I want to get. But in the meantime, I have a bunch of fixed and a few interchangeables that I've started collecting to just try different ones. I used to really love the Addy Turbos. Now I just find them way too slippery. I decided I really not sure about the tips. I think I'm leaning towards bamboo, because they're a little grippier, but still, depending on the brand, smoother. Right now, my go-to needles have been the ones I've got on eBay from China. Believe it or not, they were really inexpensive. There were 11 needles for about $6, I think they were. And this is the package they came in. It was like this, and they came in sizes like 0, 0, up until, what was I think 8, size 8. Now the sizes were in the European or Chinese or Asian, I'm not sure exactly, but I used my needle thingy there to figure out what the sizes were, and I labeled them. And then they also came with this nice little needle. So for the $6 or $7, they worked really well, and I can do magic loop with them, which is also really cool for some things. Right now I've got a pair of socks on my ones, and I'm doing magic loop, and there's a little issue right here because you can see it's kind of got a bend. But other than that, they're really good for the price. So until I actually find the interchangeable set of my dreams, That's what I've been using mostly. I do, but it is an issue, and I find myself changing needles in the middle of projects because they're just not working right. So if any of you out there have some suggestions on interchangeable sets that you like, please put it in the comments, because I'm leaning towards maybe the Knitter's Pride bamboo, but you know, I hate to invest in a huge thing and then guess what? I won't like them all, so I don't know. Moving on to question number 5, brand of yarn. That's also kind of a toughie for me. You know, I used to felt a lot, and so my go-to yarn for a really long time was Cascade 220, and I have actually quite a stash of that, but I found that it's not as soft as I like for just general projects. So it's a great felting yarn, and they have beautiful colors, and so I did really like that for quite a while. In terms of the more inexpensive yarns and acrylic blends, I've leaned more towards, I think the Woolies, Lion Brand Woolies is a kind of a really nice one that I go to for some things. You know, I have my share of With Love and Red Heart Super Saver that I use for different projects. And I'd love to be able to get more luxury yarns, and I just love going on Etsy and looking at all the beautiful hand-dyed yarns, but you know, my budget doesn't allow for that, so I guess I'll stick with what I've got. The other thing is I did find at Michael's, it's a Loops and Thread brand called Woolike. It's a fingering weight. It's really inexpensive. It's an acrylic nylon blend, very soft. Looks like it might make a good sock yarn. $2.99 for like 600 yards. So I did get one skein of that to try, and I may try to get some more of those. Okay, next, let's see. Favorite things to knit. Okay, right now I'm on a shawl kick, so I'm knitting lots and lots of shawls. I'm in the middle of like 3 different shawls, and I keep looking at shawl patterns. I'm kind of obsessed with them. And so that's sort of right now what's up in front in my knitting passion. In the past, I've loved to knit fingerless mitts, scarves, socks. I really like to knit socks, and crocheting. I like earrings. I make a lot of earrings with crochet thread, and I'm in the middle of a couple of blankets. I think that's it. That's pretty much it. Those are the projects and anything, you know, I just kind of look at all different things and I get inspired, and I do want to make a sweater. I haven't done that yet, and a cardigan. That's like I'm on my crafty goal list for this year, so I'm hoping to do that before the year is out. Where do I get my inspiration and ideas? A lot of times from you guys that I watch the podcasts and your cast-off videos, and I see all the things you're working on, and I check out the patterns, and I'm on a few Facebook groups, and I get some inspiration from there. And Ravelry, you know, I tool Ravelry. I go on Ravelry a lot and just kind of check out the patterns there. You know, so pretty much the internet most of the time. How did you learn to knit or crochet? I learned how to crochet when I was like 9, I think I said. My aunt taught me, and that's a really nice memory that I have of my time with her. And I learned how to knit about 15 or 16 years ago, like I said, at my LYS, my local yarn shop. She had a weekend, learn how to knit in a weekend workshop where you went from like 10 in the morning to like 5 in the afternoon on Saturday and Sunday, and basically came out with a scarf, and more or less I did. And then you went home and did homework, and I was up until like 2 o'clock in the morning that first night, and by the end of the weekend I knew how to knit, and it was awesome, and I've been hooked ever since. I love it. It's my passion, both, you know, crafts. How do you store your patterns? Okay, I have a bunch of 3-ring binders when I was printing patterns out, and I put them in page protectors, and I have them organized by types. Like, you know, I started with a big one and then eventually got too big, so I put them into different types, like scarves in one book, you know, sweaters in another. But I don't have access to a printer anymore, and I also don't have access to a computer. I mostly use my phone or tablet or my Kindle. So now I store them in PDF form when I can on my Kindle. So that's where 90% of my patterns right now. And I actually find it pretty good using my Kindle. you know, the issue of course is running out of battery power. Like last night in the middle of working on a row of something that was sort of a complicated lace pattern, it decided to die, and guess what? I was like, but I was able to plug it in and find my place. So that's where I do now, where I keep them right now. And the last question is, what other hobbies? What are my other hobbies? Okay, so knitting and crocheting is obviously at the top of the list. I do like to needlepoint. I also got into needle felting and felting for a while. I do that a little bit, not as much as I was doing it, but I like that. I love to read. Yeah, that's pretty much my other hobbies at this point. I would like to get more into sewing, but I don't have a machine. I've done some hand sewing, and I did a little bit of quilting at one point. But that's it. So that's me. There, I'm finished with the tag. I'm gonna go look at this to see if the light was okay, because like I said, the sun was going in and out. And I'd love to hear your comments. I'd like to see any of you out there doing some of these. Okay, thanks. See you soon. Bye.